What is up, FGO fans? How are we doing? We have a special edition of our new servant analysis video recording tonight. I'm live on stream. Typically, I do this off stream. Typically, I can do it early in the morning. But I have 2 videos to record tomorrow and a day job and a family and a life and all that. And I'd like to sleep. So I'm going to go ahead and knock one out right now live on stream. This is the Summer Valkyries. Let's go ahead and get our intro going for you guys. If you're here on Twitch, thanks for being here. Let's take a look. So this is the Summer Valkyries. This one in particular is Ortland. I totally did not choose this one because this is the one that won me over with their final Ascension art. That's not what's going on at all. What you'll see here are a couple of things that really stick out. It's a double arts, double quick deck. We like that for Assassins, especially in Arts 1. 3 hits on the Buster, 4 hits on the Arts, 3 hits on the Quick. Pretty good ratio here. HP to attack is standard, but it's nice, right? Anytime it doesn't like stick out egregiously, then, you know, it's fine. It's middle of the road. The extra card is 5 hits, and the reason that matters is because her star gen is 25%. That is very good. Very good. Buster quick into extra is going to give you a good amount of stars, but even better is going to be a quick Buster quick into extra, thanks to the little bit of buff that quick got where you have a better chance to crit by using a quick card first. It'll increase your other card's critical rate. Perhaps maybe you get a crit off of that extra, or after that quick card, get a little bit more stars. With that being the case, this is a very good star gen, especially with 5 hits of extra. The 3 hits of quick is fine. You're not going to get any stars off of the arts card anyway with 4 hits. But, like, we'll take 3 Buster, 3 Quick with 25% star gen. That's very good. But that's fitting for Assassins. And so is the star weight here of 100. So, it seems kind of standard, but as a welfare, like, you'll definitely take that star gen. You'll definitely take it. Going on down to the first skill here, she has a very welfare kit. I'm not going to lie to you. Quick up for 3 turns, 10 to 20%. Arts up for 3 turns, 10 to 20%. And then crit up 3 times 3 turns. I'm not a fan of when they do this personally. 50 to 100% though. That is very strong. A welfare with 3 times over 3 turns of 50 to 100% crit. Now, on the one hand, would we rather it be like a, hey, I can go out and have this servant be my last one and use crits consistently over like a 2 or 3 turn period and have them hit hard? Sure, yeah. We would like that. But they're an AoE art servant, so if they're going to be used for certain content in which they just need to clear out the enemy, this is going to be fine. And since it hits hard as hell, we really, really like that. So 50 to 100% crit up, 3 time 3 turn. 5 turn cooldown is very good for that. Very good for that. Over here on our second skill, it is attack up for 3 turns, 10 to 20%. It's a 6 turn cooldown. So, evade is 1 time over 3 turns. So this one, I'm not really a huge fan of like this one synergistically compared to the first one. It's a little bit of a stretch to say that the first one should be 5 turns and this one should be 6. I get it though, the evade. However, it is only 1 time over 3 turns. And it's also NP gain up for targets with Valkyrie in the party. So also the Valkyries, but also Bryn is going to have the Valkyrie trait. That is a thing now. It's 10 to 20% though on the NP gain up. That's not super great. But again, this is a welfare. It is what it is. You kind of take what you can get. If you had asked me in a vacuum, like totally neutrally, hey, look at these 2 skills and tell me which one is going to have a 6 turn cooldown and which one's going to have a 5 turn cooldown, I would have told you that this one would have a 6 turn cooldown and that this one would have a 5 turn cooldown. So I don't really understand why they are the way they are, but it's okay. It's fine. Just know that this second skill is not necessarily going to be one that you need to chase down leveling wise first, because this is a very, very strong critical skill right here. Again, 50 to 100% right here. That's no joke. You really, really like that, especially on a welfare. Over here on her third skill, this is the battery. It is a flat battery. We like that. It's also targetable. We like that as well. It's also HP restoration on that target recipient, 1,000 to 3,000. Again, a 6 turn cooldown. And then a star, like, grenade. It's kind of like a mini star bomb, 10 to 20. This is honestly, like, the first and third skill have a ton of good synergy. I really, really like where they're going with this. Flat battery is always very player-friendly, especially on a welfare, especially on a targetable skill. This is a good kit. It's a good kit. This isn't going to be one that like absolutely overwhelms your Chaldea. It's not going to change the outlook of your prospects and your combat capability, but it's a very good welfare kit. It's a very solid welfare kit. Over here on the NP, they have standard art scaling 450 to 750% on their AoE NP. They do super effective damage against earth enemies. Now, if you've been keeping track, that's super effective damage plus arts up right there, attack up, and the battery. So you do have a lot churning into this NP via damage and accessibility to really get the damage going. Again, for a welfare, this is really, really, really nice. This is really nice. A very attractive kit. Whether it was a welfare or not, this would be a solid 4-star. One thing on their first skill here, with this critical up being 3 times over 3 turns, you do want to make sure that if you are using cards after the fact, you do take advantage of the Mighty Chains or a quick card going first. This powerful of a crit damage skill needs to be taken advantage of, and because of that, you really do want to make sure that you take advantage of those new mechanics, either the new quick mechanic of quick going first giving 20% extra crit rate, or the Mighty Chain. Either way, you're going to want to get as close to 100% as you can to get that crit, because that is, again, a very, very powerful skill. It's a very powerful skill. Over here on our passives, it's extremely standard. I don't really think there's anything really like worth remarking here. Obviously, the Append is going to be somewhat nice, but since their battery is flat 20%, your mono loading is only going to get you so far. They don't really care too much about it. You could argue that you might unlock the second Append with the coins from the shop, just to allow for like an Ilioscope or an MLB Imaginary Element type of thing to get you NPing on that first turn. That's a valid argument, it is. But the rest of these aren't really going to move the needle either way for you. The extra attack, the anti-saber. They do have Divinity, they have Presence Concealment. That extra little bit of crit is going to be nice, right? The star drop up can help you get more crits. That's fine, but they don't really need it. They have great star drops anyway, so passives are just kind of whatever. Over here on the traits, we did mention one thing that was kind of new. There's actually 2. There's like the Summer Mode Servant, and then there's the Valkyrie as well. Newer to the game, right? We don't have that in NA right now, at least not to my knowledge. And so that's going to be a little bit more fun, I guess. We like more boys to play the game. We always like to have more flexibility in the game. Maybe you can trot out a all Valkyries lineup, Bryn, Valkyries, other Valkyries, or 2 Bryns, whatever. However you want, and take advantage of some of these buffs. Fortunately, these are not like game-changingly strong buffs. Same with Shufu and Yume Ren. Same with the Summer Mode buff that we recently saw as well in a different video. It's not something that's going to change your outlook, but it's fun. It's something you can take advantage of if you really do want to, and maybe run some comps that you couldn't run before, at least to a little bit greater efficacy. So obviously, as a welfare, their Ascension mats are extremely standard. We love that. One thing that is not very nice is requiring 60 bullets on a welfare unit. Now, that's a lot, but let's take a step back. It's 60 bullets per skill to max out these skills. However, which of these skills really needs to be maxed out? I would argue it's the first one. Even though the third one has the battery, it's a flat battery. It's not too bad. The second skill has the attack up, but the scaling's not great. 10 to 20 is not the strongest scaling. But this first skill, although the scaling is the same on the arts and the quick, this is a powerful crit skill. It's very powerful, especially if you rolled Lady Avalon. If you roll Lady Avalon, you're going to roll out some very, very hefty arts crits with this. So I would advocate for the first skill being leveled up first. You could argue the second skill, you could argue the third skill, but this is a flat battery again, and this second skill has a little bit of NP gain on it. So I would say first skill, then second skill, and then third skill as far as the leveling order. And you don't need to take the second and third skill all the way up to level 10 to really get the most out of these Valkyries, once again, because the scaling is the best on this critical skill over here. Down here on the Appends, it's a lot better. I never understand why we have these kinds of imbalances. Sometimes they'll make a servant have really good mats for just their active skills only, and then terrible for Appends. Sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes they have great mats for active and Appends, and sometimes they have terrible mats for both. Gareth comes to mind, sorry. This is the case where the Appends are really attractive material-wise, and the active ones can be a little bit daunting as far as the final 2 skills go. So 60 bullets is pretty steep. It's pretty steep. One thing to note about the Valkyries, personal interjection here. I'm not a big fan of the whole, like, you can only pick one. And it's for purely selfish reasons. It's because I like the Valkyries, and I wish I could have all the Valkyries, and I played Pokemon as a kid, right? You want to catch them all. But stylistically speaking, I think it's really cool. I do like it, like, objectively speaking, but, like, there is that little bit of collector in me who is going to wish that we could have gotten all three. And who knows what's in the future. But one very cool thing is that the Bond CE art is going to change depending on who you pick. These are very good. They have a lot of callbacks to not only the Lost Belts, but some of the art that you've seen elsewhere. Also, maybe even Attack on Titan? I don't know. Maybe they're in the core. I don't know. But these are really nice. I do like the art on these. They're well done. And if you like the art aspect, that's cool. I don't usually talk about the aesthetic appeal of servants or their art in these kinds of videos. But this is an interesting new little feature that they've done where you can pick a servant and they get different Bond CE art. I think that's pretty cool. One thing that is not pretty cool is the effect down here. It's not bad. It's a Bond CE on a welfare. Arts up, critical damage up. The arts up is 10% and the critical damage up is 20% when on the field with Valkyrie party members. Like, so they give themselves 10% arts up and 20% crit damage up. There is absolutely 0% of the times in the game where you're going to seek to use this Bond CE for your farming purposes, and they are going to be a better farming unit than what a lot of newer players will have, because this is a very accessible event. So, because of that, long term, this Bond CE is not really going to do much for you. You're probably never going to use it. It's going to sit on your shelf and collect dust. That being said, the art aspect is pretty cool, so feel free to pick up whichever one you want because the effect is not really going to matter. All in all, a very good welfare unit, a good summer unit as well. Even if we leave out the aesthetic appeal, the stylistic appeal of both the Bond CEs and picking from one of essentially 6 different Valkyrie arts, they have a very solid kit. This is a good welfare unit, a good AoE arts assassin. It fills a need in the game, in my opinion, and it's accessible to newer players. The mats can be a little bit daunting at the higher skill levels, but you really don't need to take it that far. I would argue outside of that first skill, we love to see a flat battery. This is exactly why, so that we don't have to worry about going all the way up to level 10. We can just get the battery, unlock it, and we have that capability right away. That is the Valkyries. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to hit that sub button if you want to see more content like this in the future. They will always be coming out. As soon as there's a new servant coming out on the JP server, I'm here making these videos. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have fun in the game. Take care of yourself. Good luck on your rolls, and I'll see you next time. Later, guys. Good God. All right. Sorry, whoever requested that, but like, God. I'm recording a video and I hear, it's like, bro, no. No, Demon Man. I don't want to listen to you right now. All right, we're still recording, so let me wrap it up. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Your life is a lie. Like, shit, dude.